Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Iron Vlog number 41. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's afternoon because I woke up this morning and I was so hungover. It was bad. Oh, it was real bad. Feeling better now. I actually had to make myself vomit. That's how bad it was. I had like this stomach thing going on like the entire day, like morning, and I just felt bad. But I didn't feel like I had anything in my stomach. And then I kept not feeling good. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking try to make myself vomit. And then a shit ton of vomit came out. And then I felt better. So that was really gross. Sorry about that. Anyway, now I'm feeling better, sorta. See, what bothers me, I hate it when, like, if I go out and I drink and I go out with my buddies and friends or family or whatever it is, and I drink and have a good time, that's one thing. I don't feel bad about that because I'm getting something out of it. I just went out by myself last night. I'm just like, I'm gonna go get a few beers, and then someone bought me a beer, and then someone else bought me a beer, and then next thing I know, I had like way too many drinks. I started early too because I had completed the draft one, and I was like, yeah, let's get margaritas. Anyway, let's try not to do that as much. Anyway, today I'm essentially brainstorming. We'll see how well my head works since I pickled it in alcohol last night. But we'll see. I'm going to do a little bit of work today and just kind of do some thinking. I need to do some drawings. First thing I need to do is I need to make a goddamn sandwich because I'm super hungry. Ooh, alright. I'm in here recovering from being a dumbass. And let me show you what I've been working on, what I've been drawing. Alright, so right here, this is, so there would be my body. And then these would be the ribs that come around. These are my sliding joints. So this is just really essentially a doubled, deep, superficial exoskeleton. So that's the top view. And then I think they, like right here, they will come together on right there and right there. They'll kind of come in to one single joint, kind of like I was doing on the inside of the leg and on the inside of the arm there, in order to make that and that, because your arms would be over here, in order to make those a little bit smaller so you get to put your arms in more easily. Cool. And then over here, this is like a drawing. It's not very well done to scale, but showing how this works. So this is 3 side joints to allow you to bend forward and backwards. This is a side view, so like your nose would be up here. And then these joints allow for side to side motion, and then those transverse joints will be in here and in here. I mean, I guess they could also be in here, 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 and here. It could be in 4 places. I don't know about that. So this was just kind of playing some stuff out. This is I'm actually kind of more excited about here. So I'm also thinking over here about how I'm gonna hold this from both sides and put it on. So I'm thinking about the stand. So what I'm thinking right now is there'll be like a part that comes in and kind of comes up close to where these pieces right here represent where they would bolt on. So they would come on next to here and like kind of slide through there and kind of hold it. Or actually, well, there'll probably be, well, because there'll be metal, there'll be pieces of sheet metal in here that can kind of go up and down like an accordion. So because that's there, there's actually probably going to be a magnet that holds onto these, that turns on and off like a, well, I'll show you, I have one in the garage. So a magnet will hold it there and then hold it there. So there'll be some holding from the back side and some holding from the front side, grabbing all these. And then the bolts will be going across through here, and then there'll be a hex, like an Allen wrench essentially, kind of hex nut to tighten down coming in this way, and that will be like this right here. And then so this will be the bolt-on piece and the bolt-on piece, and then this is going to be the nut back here encased in a 3D printed plastic so it can't slip around. And then there'll be, with the hex, this will be a 3D printed part that's, alright, sorry about that, my memory card ran out of space. Anyway, this is going to be a nut that's encased in a 3D printed plastic. These two come together. This bolt's going to be in here. It's going to be in a sliding, you'll be able to slide back and forth in this. This will be fixed in some way, and this will be a worm wheel connection between these two. What a worm wheel is essentially, here, let me show you. This is a worm wheel. It can only spin, the worm can only spin the wheel, the worm can only spin the wheel. The wheel cannot spin the worm. When you twist the worm, it spins this, which engages and meshes with these teeth, which spins the wheel. So that is what's going to be here. This will be the worm, and this will be the wheel, and then it'll come in straight sideways and bolt on this. And what's nice about this is it'll keep all of this It'll keep everything here very clean and flush, and there'll be like one little spot, so it'll make making the skin a lot easier. And I just put like a hole right there, and then one little spot where you bolt that in, which is neat. I think that'll work pretty well. So I could even probably in the water jet parts, water jet that hole out so it's perfect there, and then have like maybe some other holes or something where it gets mounted in and then bolts up really nice and flush there. And then the worm wheels will probably be 3D printed. That's the idea right now. I'm gonna have to do some experiments with that and make sure it's possible that they can tighten on strong enough so that they don't slip loose. But the nice thing is they'll be in here and they won't really be able to slip. So, because they won't be able to turn this won't be able to turn this as long as this stays tight enough not to move at all. This won't be able to twist this, so this will be stuck. So even if it's not super tight, it'll be stuck here, and then this will also be stuck and glued on here at the end, so it should be very strong. So if you've never seen one of these before, this is a dial indicator for machining. So it tells if you press on it, it'll tell how much that's changing down to, I think, half a thou. They're pretty accurate. Anyway, you turn this on like this, and it's magnetized. Turn it off like this. So it's not an electric magnet, it's a permanent magnet in there, but that's magnetized now, so like if I wanted to. Alright, so here you can tell it's coming off and on. So I think what's going on here, because it's not an electromagnet, I think there's some kind of, this is metal, so there's some kind of yoke, so when it pulls it up, the magnetism is going somewhere else, and then when it pushes it down, it's going and can touch the steel. I'm not entirely sure how they function, so I have to figure them out, but because we're making this thing out of steel, when I have the stuff water jet cut, it's steel, it's ferromagnetic, I can make the yokes, and so I can then just buy the magnets, and so that way I don't have to buy a whole bunch of these. I can just design these and build them myself from permanent magnets. It'll require me to understand how these function a little bit better, and I'm sure I can figure it out on YouTube or Google. I just haven't looked into it that much, but they just come off and on like that. Alright, so that's it for the day, guys. Sorry, it was kind of not a whole lot was done today. I was dragging all day because, well, you know why. But tomorrow I'm excited to start and really kind of hit this thing hard. I kind of needed a day off anyway. Even though I didn't have a full day off, that's okay. I don't really want a full day off. So I'm gonna start tomorrow working on more sketches. I'm really trying to figure out how I'm gonna hold the thing, and I'm really starting to think about how the skin is gonna go on now. Now that I have the skeleton, the frame made, I got to figure out how I'm gonna make how I want the steel skin on the outside to look, and how it's going to kind of come together as a solid, like, full unit. I'm not really too worried about the composites. I think that'll be pretty easy. One thing I'm thinking about right now is embedded. So on the composite layer here, there'll be a hole. So you take the superficial frame off, and you can see the composite layer, and there'll be a hole through there, and then through that hole will be a 3D printed part that has a nut embedded in it, and then that will screw in, and that will be where I mount the foam in, and then they'll be removable. I take the bolt out, and I can put in, if I decide to actuate it, other 3D printed parts that have the sensors in them. It's not just foam. So I have that pretty well figured out. I don't think that'll be very hard. Getting the metal skin on the outside, how I'm going to hold onto the thing, and how I'm going to put the thing on and take it off. That all has to be figured out. That's really where I'm going to be doing the bulk of my thought process and stuff. And then once I kind of get those sketches done and I have a good idea of that, then I'm going to make that spreadsheet, that order, and then we'll actually start designing it. And I think designing it will actually go fairly fast because I have it so thought out. I'm going to have it so thought out before. So take extra time to really think things through. I'm not sure how many days it's going to take. I'm too tired to make predictions on that right now. I'll see how tomorrow goes and think about it. So I love you guys. You're awesome. If you are watching this for the first time, or if you're not watching this for the first time, but you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe because we could use the followers. I love you guys. Y'all have a good one.